Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to finish a model kit and start a LEGO set and, of course, hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the LEGO, the Scythe emote, and the brand new Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue Pat emote, or as I'm going to call it from now, the Blue emote. You get the tier 2, you get that blue emote if you're tier 2. If you are not tier 2, you now have access to the Scythe emote. That's how it works. Shout out to the lovely and talented Zandra Vandra out there. Aristophan's showing off those new emotes. Of course, if you don't have those emotes, you can just say hi, or you can say emotes from other people if you want to use, or just be a lurker. We're in the intro portion of the stream. We're just hanging out, just chatting, shooting the shit. Yeah, Aristophan is one of our tier 2 subscribers, so that they get access to me as Goku in Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, aka Super Saiyan Blue. Because Super Saiyan God is the red hair, but if you go Super Saiyan while you were in God mode, you become Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, or Blue. Terrible. Dragon Ball Super has some very good parts to it, but it also is nonsense. Gull saying hi. Welcome. Hello. Lastberg says no Kaioken, though. No. Here's the thing. When you start putting all those things together, then you're in trouble. Silver Streak just subscribed to tier 1. That's 21 months saying, good evening. Finally able to join a bear stream again. All right. I'm going to, let's applause here. Throw the emotes in the chat. Get over here with our applause. Welcome, Silver Streak. Thanks so much for renewing your subscription. Let's throw the emotes in the chat. Also, thank you to whoever subscribed and got us to 40 before the stream started, because somebody did that, because now we're at 41. So thank you to the person who did that. I don't know who did, but somebody got us to renew their subscription before the stream started. Silver Streak says, I heard us talking about DB Super and the nonsense power creep. So it's not the there's so much about it that is just nonsensical. Earnestly, I think that it's fine that it retcons like the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, kind of like the beginnings of that tournament arc, and that's fine. I think it doesn't really need it. I would like to get to the point where we introduce Oob, because I think that's an interesting character, somebody who has been who has like the soul of Boo inside of them, but is a human. The idea of even though it involves Boo, having a strongest evil Boo, having a strongest human, a pure human, would be interesting. Instead of just people from other planets, or the offspring of people from other planets and humans, or their offspring, but whatever. The best part is that it retcons GT. Yes, it does. Now, I will say, they did honor the best part of Dragon Ball GT, which is Vegeta's mustache, because there is a moment in Super where Goku and Vegeta grow beards. They show up with long beards because they trained for so long, and that's nonsense because they're not supposed to be able to grow facial hair unless they just want it, which is also weird, but that's what Saiyans do. So that's very good. They were like, hey, remember when Vegeta just wore tank tops and had a mustache and was way too concerned about his daughter's dating habits? Well, let's just take the mustache part, and we'll just like have that. We'll just like give him a beard and Goku a beard. This is very good. It's one of the best parts of GT. Anyway, we're not actually here to talk about Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball GT or Dragon Ball. But we certainly could. I want to say Oob has shown up in a small part of the DBS manga. I hope so, because that was a fun idea. I mean, the Dragon Ball Z ends with Goku being like, anyway, I'm going to leave for a while. Bye, everybody. I'm going to go raise this kid to be really strong so I can fight him later. That's how Dragon Ball Z ends. It's like, hey, look, my granddaughter Pan's really strong. Cool. Bye, everybody. Don't worry. He's still got grandparents. He's still got Ox King is still here. And also, of course, Pan still has her grandpa Piccolo. So it's cool. We don't need to be here. I'm going to go peace out and raise this kid to be really strong so I can fight him and save his village or whatever. The problem is that apparently the manga is non-canon one this time. The anime is canon. Yeah. So Dragon Ball Super is based on ideas that Toriyama has, and he's like, yes, do this, do that, do those things. And then the manga is like, well, Dragon Ball Super's out, so let's just like make them, there should be a manga, but it's coming out after that. And so some of that could end up in Super when Super continues, but it doesn't have to. The manga is an adaptation of the anime. And it's complicated. Anyway, we're going to get model kit building. That's actually what we're here to do. We're here to talk about a bunch of other things. We'll do that. I should say I'm wearing long sleeves. You might have seen that in my claps. I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt because I'm allergic to a particular bug in this area. And new to me, I've been here almost 2 years. This will be, 2020 summer, no problem. 2021 summer, no problem. 2022 summer, just bug bites that are connecting together and just look awful and itch like hell. I got a numbing spray that helps a lot with it. But my arms look awful, and I don't want you to see them. I worry about what's canon if Super ever has an anime. Yeah, there you go, Lashbrook. If they continue Super, I mean, the last movie did so well, you'd think they would make more. Toei is already doing, Toei is already like, hey, Digimon, and, One Piece is going to end in a couple years, maybe. Probably 10, 5, maybe. So they're already like, we got this, we got that. We brought back, Dragon Warrior. We've got a bunch of things in the fire. But you'd think they'd be like, we should probably have more Dragon Ball Super. But who knows? They're making a Goku Piccolo movie. I mean, I don't know. Silver Streak. I don't pay attention to Dragon Ball movies. Excuse me. Sometimes they come out and people are like, oh, it's really good. And I'll go, oh. But I don't go out of my way. Oh, a Gohan Piccolo movie. Okay. I mean, I like Gohan a lot. I do think Gohan is rad. Gohan's probably my favorite. I got a teen Gohan there. Well, Ultimate Gohan is back there. Dragon Ball Super Superhero. Oh, yes, Lashbrook, yes. And, of course, Silver Streak mentioned that. I do remember that. I had forgotten about that. All right, I'm going to reply to my tweet, see if we can get a few more friends to join us tonight. Maybe some people will come hang out. Again, shout out to close the book for now on Dragon Ball. Shout out to Zandra Vandra, who made the fantastic me as Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan, or Blue. Probably just going to call it the Blue emote. I used to the Gohan that I have back here is the last one I've done in a while because they stopped making them. But I've built almost every single Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super action figure model kits, the Figure Rise kits. I've built all of them, except for Brawly and Frieza inside Frieza and the orb, whatever. The Frieza's like, throne thing. Those two I haven't built. The Brawly one just got expensive kind of out of nowhere. And then the Frieza one was always expensive. Hey, let's hit the applause here. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site emote for Harold. Thank you very much, Harold, for your 55 months. That's so many goddamn months. Thank you so much, Harold, for renewing your subscription. I'm going to throw all the emotes in, including the new one. Thank you so much for renewing your subscription, Harold. That's rad of you. And 55 months is so many months. Let's go to the overhead. We're going to the overhead. Here's the overhead. We're working on the Zaku II from the Black Tri-Stars. So this is a Black Tri-Stars version of the Zaku II. We're working on legs here. There's not a lot left of this kit. We got legs. We've built some of the other leg, because some of those you can do at the same time. Then we've got the waist, which is very small connector, and then a bazooka and a machine gun, because the axe doesn't require anything. It's just the axe. It's just one piece. It's over here, right? Yeah, the axe is just right there. So we do have some work to do. We'll continue. An update on Thursday. during Thursday's stream, I was chatting to y'all about the state of play, PlayStation's state of play. We were talking about all of the various things and the games and all that, and it was brought to my attention that, like, hey, we're talking about this video game season, A Letter to the Future. Some shit went down with that developer, and we should probably talk about it. And I, at the time, didn't have any information about that. So I appreciated that people were like, hey, there's stuff about this. Oh, yeah, Silver Streak. There was a bunch of cool stuff in there. And, of course, Season, A Letter to the Future, had cool vibes. It looked neat. It looked like a cool exploration game. Biking around, figuring shit out, taking photographs and videos of what might be the end of the world or some kind of chaotic event happening. I don't know, but it seemed cool. But I have done the update on this, that the studio behind it, allegations of inappropriate behavior by the studio's CEO at a party. And then there was the reaction was basically, so the person that made these accusations got demoted because everyone else in upper management, the other studio leaders, were like, nah. That, no, well, hey, whatever. Oh, well, what? They kind of took a denial approach and a discredit approach. And that created a rift because no actions were taken. Indeed. No actions were taken, and people were like, well, what the fuck are we doing here then if we're not going to, like, deal with this? And then later, the team leaders were like, that was regrettable on our part that we didn't do anything. And the former CEO and then the creative director, Simon Darvaux, was permanently let go after having been found at fault. And the CEO stepped down indefinitely. So basically, like, the former CEO... So clearly there was something going on if you're the former CEO and you become the creative director. Like, something's happened there. But it was enough that, like, the then CEO was like, oh, yeah. I'm going to step down. And then they got rid of the offender. But it is... shit's fucked. And this is something I did not know about. Reporting was certainly done about this particular topic, but I was unaware, and I appreciate that folks were like, "Hey," and mentioned it to me in chat on Thursday, so that I could look it up and have some information to present to y'all. That does not take away from the trailer, and certainly we hope that the studio is on the right track vis-a-vis listening to employees and taking the proper actions and not having to have it go, like, be reported on and have people, like, talking a lot and, dealing with it in that way. One would hope that in the future, folks that are bringing forward stuff like that, certainly you hope that shit just doesn't happen. But realistically, we understand that people are awful, so those things are going to happen. It's about the response to those things. So I did want to update you on that because I did do the research. I wasn't that I didn't believe at people that were like, hey, there was some shit about that studio. It's just that I had not heard that shit, so I was unaware of it. But now I have more knowledge about it. And I was happy to be able to talk about it. All right, we are now connecting the different parts of our leg. We're going to do this first here. We got to hook the hose up. So we got to do this, and then we angle it in, and then turn it. Yeah, angle it, and then it fits right in. Great. So that hose is now connected. A lot of these segments we had already built, so now we're just connecting them. I do realize now, to change the subject, that my overhead lighting now needs to be changed a little bit to accommodate for the fact that where my camera is. So I am working on a better lighting solution than the one I currently have. my goal is to have the ring light actually like up here around the camera, and then I can brighten it from up there instead of it being like kind of back. Last work. This is the game studio behind Season: A Letter to the Future. That was the indie game that was shown of the woman on a bicycle and taking photographs and video and audio recording, and it was the like something is definitely happening here, and this person's like going around seeing what's up. It had good vibes to the trailer, and maybe like sad, but like worth it to watch sad. But of course, we don't know. You know, I didn't have information about it beyond that. So about the studio, that was something I was unaware of. So there was that. We should. Somebody's subscription ended, so now we're back to 40. I do try to keep track of this stuff, so I'm gonna update. We're now back to 40 subscribers. It was probably a gifted sub at the beginning of last month that lapsed, because that happens. So we're back to 40. We're still on our way to 45. Happy to be at 40. Doesn't mean that I should get a payout this month or next month. Anyway, we got to put these in here. So let's talk about this. So I'm certainly not happy about what happened with CM Punk. As vis-a-vis, he was on Dynamite and said, "Hey, I got injured." Or Rampage, sorry, Rampage, the start of Rampage. On Dynamite, he got injured. He got injured on the 6-man tag match, him and FTR versus Max Caster and Billy Gunn's sons. But he can't be called Billy Gunn, but they're the Guns, and they're in the Gun Club, but also they get called the Ass Boys because Billy Gunn's one of Billy Gunn's monikers was Mr. Ass, so they're the Ass Boys, and I do think that's better than the Gun Club. Anyway, he got injured. He needs surgery. He is also currently their champion, so that's not good. And the decision that was made is that he is still going to be a champion. There will be an interim world champion for AEW instead of him being the first person to ever drop the belt outside of a loss to relinquish the title. There will be the first ever AEW interim champion. And there's a convoluted way that we're getting there, which I will now explain. On Wednesday, there will be, at the early part of the show, there will be a battle royale. And the winner of that battle royale will face Jon Moxley, who has the best singles win-loss record of 2022. He is the number one contender because he has more wins on pay-per-view. He has the same amount of wins as Anthony Ogogo, but they had to put out an entire press release. They've had to put multiple press releases out about this. Basically, there's a battle royale, and that battle royale winner faces Jon Moxley. And then is that the interim champion? No. It's not. The person that won the battle royale versus Jon Moxley is the winner. Those two people, the person of that, is going to Forbidden Door, which is an AEW Cross New Japan Pro Wrestling pay-per-view. So, as I said, and are they going to face Tanahashi, who CM Punk was supposed to wrestle at Forbidden Door? Maybe. Tanahashi is going to face Goto at New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion, which is their special that's coming up like soon. So, before that. So, it could be Tanahashi versus Moxley, or it could be Goto versus Moxley, or it could be Tanahashi or Goto versus whoever wins the Battle Royale, who then would beat Moxley. And they're the interim champion, and they'll face CM Punk when CM Punk is healthy enough to wrestle and cleared to wrestle to figure out who is the undisputed champion. And that's too much bullshit. CM Punk will come back and they'll champion versus champion match. At least that's what I think is going to happen. No, that is what's going to happen, Spicy. It's been a developing story because most likely he felt weird on Wednesday after the match. Probably after the match he was like, oh, I'm not great. You probably had some lingering stuff. Again, he did get injured in his fight against Max Caster and the Ass Boys, which is just funny for me to say. Anyway, and they probably had to figure shit out, and they certainly weren't expecting him to have to relinquish the belt or anything like that. So they just kind of been running with it. And of course, they were also having to talk to New Japan because they probably just figured, well, we'll just figure out who a new champion is. But then we have to have that new champion face Tanahashi. Let's add to it. And this is cooler, I think. It makes it more interesting, certainly, in my opinion. But it is it's a lot of shit that's going on that I'm like, okay, well, good luck, everybody. Figure this all out. Also, Scorpio Sky is injured, so we might be looking at 2 interim champions. Oh, I didn't know that Scorpio was injured. That sucks. I was really psyched about him. Bullshit in wrestling, indeed. Say it ain't so. I was really hoping that Scorpio Sky, now that he doesn't have to deal with some annoying storyline stuff, was going to have a flourishing, a good actual challenger for that title. And something happening with that. I was hopeful that something was going to go on with Scorpio. But all right, well, that sucks. Let's see. Who do I want? Look, I want it to be Eddie Kingston. Because it also means that if Eddie Kingston winning the Battle Royale means that he would be facing Moxley, a match I would love to see again. And that also means he could be fighting Tanahashi or Goto. Also pairs I would like. Moxley needs to be on that New Japan card. In my opinion, but also I think Eddie Kingston being the interim champion and then eventually facing Punk again sounds great. Eddie Kingston is not going to be. He's going to be like, no, I'm here. You got hurt. I didn't. I've been the champion. I defended it a bunch. Now you're back and we got to wrestle. No. You got to prove it or whatever. Eddie Kingston with a world title run would be incredible. Also, we continue to do the thing. I gotta see more world champions who have not been, big WWE guys. I just need to see more of that. He strained a muscle in his right leg running from his knee to his groin. Well, hopefully they can just write around it. He keeps, my hope is instead of stripping him of the title, the Scorpio Sky, that he is just a heel and just doesn't defend it. That Ethan Page interferes in some matches, or Ethan Page is like, well, you got to face me first, and they just kind of protect him for a while until he can wrestle full strength. That would be my hope, because Scorpio Sky is doing some good stuff with that belt. But again, I can't say, I don't get to make the call on that. My hope is that that's what they would do, but sounds like I'm talking about some battle anime. Yeah. See, here's the thing. Wrestling is anime. I used to say that wrestling is soap operas, but no, it is. Yes, it's wrestling, which is just IRL anime. Yeah, wrestling is just anime. Right down to there was some anime on Rampage. The Lucha Brothers did some just incredible nonsense, just unbelievable moves, just ridiculous things that you're just like, holy fucking shit. That's impossible. They were just doing things that felt wrong. Like my eyes were playing tricks on me, which fucking kicks ass. You do like to see it. Anyway, I was against. I was not in favor of Punk winning. I'm not happy that he got hurt. Certainly, I do think that this is going to be interesting. I'm excited for to see what happens. But of course, I don't want people to get hurt. I don't want title reigns to get messed up. I don't want that. I didn't want him to win the title, but I don't mind that. And like I said, we'll see some interesting matchups. I would love it for BD Eddie. But I really hope that whoever wins and faces Moxley is a homegrown talent or someone that rose on the indies and not a ex-WWE person. That's just my personal feelings on that. This preview is going to be very brief. I'm going to give you a brief preview of Hell in a Cell, which is the WWE pay-per-view that is happening literally tomorrow. Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin in a no-holds-barred match. Madcap Moss, to make him a standout on his own, he showed up again last night, and he does not have the suspenders, no shirt, and blue shorts anymore. He now is just wearing all black, which is too much of an overcorrection, but he's still better than him looking like a goddamn clown. So, happy about that. I assume that he'll win. I assume Moss will be happy. Okay, but what about Adam Cole? You haven't enough of him yet, right? No, Lashbrook. Adam Cole winning. Adam Cole beating Samoa Joe bums me out. I don't want to see Adam Cole. Adam Cole versus Jon Moxley, I'm not super opposed to. I'm not opposed to it. Because I think the two of them would work really well together, but I wouldn't want to see Adam Cole beating Jon Moxley and going to Forbidden Door. But if someone's got to win that to lose to Moxley, I could see that. And I wouldn't be super opposed to that particular situation. Again, not my preference, but I understand it, if that's how it would have to go down. Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and Liv Morgan versus Judgment Day, which is Edge, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley. So we got ourselves a 6-person mixed tag team match. You might see some stuff going on there a little bit here and there. AJ Styles has certainly in his indie days worked intergender before. Not saying that will happen on this one, but he has worked that style before. We could see that a bit of business there. My assumption being Judgment Day is going to win this. They kind of need to win this. And also, the odds of Liv Morgan turning are pretty good, I would say. Wrestling discussion kind of sounds like power scaling discussion. Yeah, in some ways, yeah. I would say Liv Morgan turning heel and joining Judgment Day would be great for Liv Morgan. Because Rhea only turned on her to join Judgment Day, so I can see her being swayed. Not that the women's tag division has anything going on, but like legitimately, because they're just like, oh, I guess we're not going to do it. I guess they're not doing this tournament. They now decided they're not going to do it, or it's taking a back burner. But I still think that would be a good combination. And then Theory, formerly Austin Theory, now just Theory, who is the United States champion, versus Mustafa Ali. I think Theory is going to continue to do this. He might cheat to win, but I think he's going to continue to be champion. It is fun to see Mustafa on TV, and their chemistry is really good. Bobby Lashley versus Omos and MVP in a handicap match. In this particular thing, my guess is Bobby Lashley pins MVP and Omos can beat him up after it. This should not be a pay-per-view match. Bianca Belair versus Asuka versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. I hope it's Bianca. And then maybe it's a Bianca-Asuka program for a bit and Becky finds something else to do. But I would not be surprised if Becky Lynch wins and gets her win back from WrestleMania. Would not be terribly surprised by that. And then in our main event, the only actual Hell in a Cell match, which is good because we don't need to see a ton of them. We just need to see one really. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell. There's no way that Seth Rollins wins this. This will be a clean 3-time win. Cody beat him at WrestleMania, where Seth got to say, like, well, I didn't know who my opponent was. That wasn't fair. And then at WrestleMania Backlash, with notice, still lost. And now in the cage is going to, Hell in a Cell, is going to lose again. And it will be a clean sweep, which should be embarrassing. But it's also just like, yeah, makes sense. Downtown CM Brown is now following. Welcome, Downtown CM Brown. Happy to have you here. And the off chance that the C in CM Brown is for Corey, what's up? And if this isn't Corey, also what's up? But like a bigger, more like, oh, if that is Corey Brown. I don't know if it is. I don't think Corey watches stuff on Twitch, but maybe he does. And just got around. I thought you were announcing the next wrestler. No. Downtown CM Brown also is definitely a like Mid-South 80s wrestler that has a dancing gimmick that like people got apart. Sorry, it's Chris. No apologies, Chris. Happy to have you here. Thanks. Welcome. No need to apologize. You've just told me, basically, you haven't told me this. You have allowed me the opportunity to remind myself that I got to message my buddy, Corey Brown. I got to be like, hey, Corey, how you doing? Because it's been a while since I talked to my friend Corey. So I should do that. Spicy says, maybe Pat or Chat can answer me. I haven't watched NXT in a long while, and I saw a little bit of the latest on Peacock. What the hell happened? I see Ziggler and Bobby Roode are there. So Ziggler showed up and was like, hey, Braun Breaker, you think you're tough. You think your dad is cool. He is. And your uncle, they are. How about you fight me? And then Dolph Ziggler just won the NXT title for a little while and then lost it back. It's gotten weird, and they're just like hanging out there, just like doing stuff. Like, it's good for both their schedules. It gives Ziggler plenty of time to run comedy shows. He and his brother just ran a comedy show, a wrestling and comedy show in LA that my friend Danielle was in, and she was like, kept her cool, and then at one point, she got to meet Tony Schiavone, and she was just fangirling out and trying to be cool. So Braun Breaker is a new talent. He's a Steiner. He's Rick Steiner's son. But they gave him the name Braun Breaker. But they have now acknowledged that his dad is Rick Steiner. They just want a copywritten name, like that they can have the copyright to. But yeah, Rick Steiner's son is a wrestler. And he was the NXT champion. The most NXT name I've ever seen. It's a very NXT name. So here's the deal, right? If you are doing NXT, they will give you a name. And now, when you move to the main roster, you will most likely get a name change. Because NXT is not the third brand anymore. NXT is developmental. It's gone back to being pure developmental. It just happens to be developmental where people who are not in the Florida area can watch it. But it might as well call it FCW 2 instead of NXT 2.0. It might as well be FCW 2.0. So like Raquel Gonzalez becomes Raquel Rodriguez. LA Knight is now Max Dupree. They're just changing things up, and that's to be expected. Tommaso Ciampa is just Ciampa, which is not a big name change, but they didn't call him a different name because he's kind of like the last generation or whatever of NXT. But yeah, now anybody that, if you watch NXT, anybody you like there, do not expect them to have a name when they get the same name when they get called up. Even though they're getting approved and they'll have merch, it's like a fresh start when you get brought over. And that might not be for every single person, but that is going to be the majority of people are just going to get name changes pretty regularly when they move over. And that is just the way it's going to be for that brand. Triple H is everybody loses their first name. Yes, indeed. Or sometimes they lose their last name, but most of the time, like Mustafa, Mustafa. Yeah, Mustafa lost the Ali for a while, and he was just Mustafa. Triple H had to take a lot of personal time. He's been back sporadically, but he hasn't been running things. He had heart issues, so he has taken some personal time off to deal with that and to get healthy. And while he has not been there have been some changes to NXT. In fact, lots of changes. And they, like I said, they basically just were like, this is a developmental brand again. Like we're taking it back to old school. Yes, he's retired from wrestling, but he is now he is on basically like extended medical leave from his production elements. His real last match was that DX versus Brothers of Destruction match in Saudi Arabia, which is really a shame because that was a terrible match, and everyone looked bad in that. But it happens. Why can't I get this to connect? This is our last thing we're doing on this kit here is we're getting this bazooka put together, but I, for whatever reason, can't get the front of this bazooka to line up right. It's supposed to line up here. I'm going to do the old twist method, twist and push, try to find there it goes. I got it. That just needed a lot. I miss old NXT under Triple H. I'm watching in your house and just no feel in it. Yeah, I mean, it's just a different thing, right? So your expectations have to be different for it, which is a shame because you want to be like it was when you liked it. But yes, they brought back in your house because they're not doing takeovers anymore. Takeovers are done. So now they're doing like in your house specials, and sometimes they'll be extra things, and other times they'll just be episodes of the show. But they brought back in your house as a name because they got rid of the takeover. And basically it is just that. It's just like it's just different. It's not what it was. It's not going to be where people who worked on indie talent for a long time help put over new stars and work with new people and have a belt and have their own little like version of a Ring of Honor, for lack of better example, and then maybe go up to the main roster or maybe just leave and do other things. It is pure developmental. It is new people coming in. Roderick Strong is now the elder statesman of it because he's the last one there for however long. But yeah, you're not going to just see stuff there. I feel like mid-90s gimmicks where wrestling was bad. Yes. Yeah, the gimmicks are bad. The gimmicks are really bad. The gimmicks there are like, I love poker 2 weeks later. Remember when that character loved poker? He doesn't anymore. Okay. I'm a rich girl. Daddy got me into this company. Okay. I sleep all the time. What are you talking about? You come to the ring dressed in like pajamas. What are you talking about? Like, a lot of it is just like the first idea someone had. And like, if I was, obviously I am not in NXT. If I was in NXT, I would never pitch the thing I liked. I would pitch a bunch of dumb bullshit for as long as possible, and then eventually be forced to pitch something with any kind of like anything that was like interesting. And then it'd be like, when absolutely necessary, I'd be like, okay, yeah, here's my actual idea. because every first idea is just immediately thrown away. Oh, I'm this like spooky person. I'm like running a cult. No. Okay. Well, I'm an Avenger for bullied people. Okay. No. I beat people up and I'm mean. Yes. Okay. That's your thing now. And it's just like, ugh. It jumps around. All right, we're gonna put up all of the weapons on this kit and then get a photo in. But we are done with this. We are done with our lovely Zaku II, Black Tri-Stars version. We picked this head here. We're not gonna have him hold. We'll hold the weapons, but we will put our blade here on the side because it should fit in there. Yeah, it does. Our tomahawk. There's unfortunately just one piece. You know, you wish it was more, but you understand why it's not. And then we'll put the weapons on there. Hey, Ignamia wants me to ring the bell. Here's the bell. Ringing that bell. Thank you for using your channel points so that I ring a bell. Appreciate that. Thank you for watching enough of the stream to have channel points. All right, let's get this hand on here. So we're just going to put these on here like this, and we'll put the bazooka on, and then we will take a photo of this pretty great kit. It's 2013 kit, a classic Zaku II. Oh, and then also John's here. Hey, John, welcome. Wants me to play some ska, and I will. Our new ska song for the month. Here we go. And if you're thinking to yourself, have I heard that in a YouTube video? You probably have, because it is from the YouTube library of music you can just play. I've got a couple songs from that fit for this, because they won't. Yes, well, the ska song will make it to the VOD. I know a lot of old people like the genre, but this is ska. Yeah, that is a ska song. I mean, here's the thing. That's a ska instrumental from a no-name band in YouTube. My thing is, I want to play ska songs, but I got to play stuff that won't trip Twitch VODs, copyright stuff. This is just not, okay. Whatever reason, this hand is not wanting to accept a weapon, so we're not going to worry about it. Because I don't have time to mess around with that. Let's try to get the bazooka on. We'll just we'll have this holding the tomahawk. Let's try to get the bazooka on. So while I would love to have like a bunch of cool artists play music and known stuff, I unfortunately can't have stuff that trips up the DMCA for Twitch or YouTube, because I put the archives up on YouTube. So instead, we just hear stuff that feels okay. We started with whatever ska songs were available in Stream Deck, because those are all fine to use. And then I found some other stuff. And of course, one of the hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. One of the songs I found from the time that I found it till now has been sold. Lord Crashington also wants me to play the ska. Gotta commission Ska 2 Network. Yeah, I honestly should commission some ska music at some point. I won't, because that's not where my money should go, but... But that would be very funny if I did commission that. Also, I did want to say, PAX Wrestling. So here's the thing. PAX Wrestling was already like, we'd taken some time off because it's a lot of work and to organize. So we'd already taken some time off. I certainly was considering bringing it back at some point. We always thought about that. It would like have to line up with like, do we have enough people? Can we give them enough notice? Can we get people to come to like PAXs and do it? So League of Heels could come back at some point in the future. I'm not saying it will. I'm saying it could. This really doesn't... Am I using the wrong hand here? Maybe I'm using the wrong hand. All right. There's apparently, this is what I found out now. There's apparently, I'm supposed to be using this hand for this weapon. I've been using the wrong hand, so that's embarrassing on my part. I was like, I must be doing something wrong here because I cannot get this trigger hand to work right. And I was doing something wrong. So now I'm going to find the right pieces that I need. Well, that's A. No, there's no. It's these. No. All right, I'm going to try this hand and see if I can get it to work here. For whatever reason, I'm just not getting this to work. Oh, your sister plays sax in a ska band. Hell yeah. I mean, you know, like I said, I would like to have a band. The goal is to pay somebody money, but I don't really have that. So then the other goal is get people who are, are working with, like, will let me use music for free, which I don't like to people to have to do, but I will. What's going on here? This kit is almost done. We just have to get a hand to fit on it, and then we can call it quits. And for whatever reason, I just can't get a hand to sit on this weapon. So fuck it. We're not doing that. We're not gonna have a gun or a bazooka on this kit. That's okay. That's fine. We don't really need it because I can't. Maybe off stream I will figure out what's going on here and why I can't get this to work. But we'll pose it like this. We've got the axe. Of course, the axe doesn't even want to stay. This is why Zeon lost the war. Indeed. Just can't get stuff together. Can't even get this axe to look good here. We'll just put the weapons near it. And this will be the kit. That will be our build. The Zaku II kit here. Just do that. And then the various weapons. Just kind of showing them off. Showing off our weapons here. And that'll be this build. I'm gonna take a photo here. Welcome. We got a bunch of people here tonight. Which I shouldn't sound surprised that that's happening, but it's nice, and I appreciate you being here. Saturdays are often kind of slow, so I appreciate having everybody here. If you're not already following the channel, please go ahead and give a follow, because I build model kits on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. I should know my days. Monday, Thursday, Saturday, I build model kits. And then on Wednesday, I do something that's not model kit building. It's often video games. Occasionally, it's this past Wednesday, we watched wrestling. Some old All Japan Pro Wrestling matches, which was fun. But often, yeah, I'm doing something else, something that's not model kits on Wednesday. And then the other days, we build. We build model kits and Lego sets. We just finished a model kit. Now it's time for a Lego set. Did I actually do the... I didn't? Oh, that's awful of me. We get to do it live right now. We got to do image, the Jesko. So we're going to start a Lego set. Oh, the Scythe emote is now available. Yes. As of basically last night, I have a new tier 2 emote, which is me as Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku, but it's, live video production indeed. Where I stream Gunpla. So we just finished up the high grade Zaku II Black Tri-Stars. Now we're switching gears to do Lego, because I do like to do Lego. Here's the thing about Lego. When you mess up, you can fix your mistakes really easy. Mobile suits are not the easiest thing in the world to fix. You can, but not as easy. So we're going to alt here, kind of get a good size of this, and then minimize it some more. You can watch me figure this out in real time. Then we got to put this behind the border. Kind of do, we'll just that. Yeah, like that. And then minimize here. Whoops, nope, not that one. There we go. And now we have what I'm going to build. And I'll probably redo that. This was the quick one because I literally just realized I forgot to add that. And then we can get rid of the markers because we don't need markers for a Lego set. But yeah, I haven't done a Lego set in a while. And this is the Koenigsegg Jesko. The Koenigsegg Jesko. 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 Koenigsegg Jesko is what we're building. This is a cool. This is part of the Lego Speed Champion series. It's just like, I don't know. It's just a cool Lego set. I like building those. Wristfan says, well, I'm working on a Technic build, and I found out I installed something upside down many steps ago. Took a bit of work to fix that, but definitely easier than a plastic kit. Yes, easier than a plastic model kit to fix. This had 2 bags. I just emptied both bags out here because why not? And the first step is knolling, which is just separating by color. We do have a brick separator right here. You can see right there. Hooray. Our lovely handy dandy brick separator, which will always come in handy, always be helpful. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to separate by color. And then also we'll find our pieces for our minifig and do that. Do you have any place to display all your Lego builds? Not at the moment. I keep a rotation of model kits behind me. You can see right there I have a little bit of displays. And of course one of those is a Lego set. And I have a rotation of stuff and I keep a bunch of things. I don't really have the space. So what I do is there is the Lego Replay is a thing, and you can Google Lego Replay. And basically, you print a label, you stick that label on a box, it's prepaid and FedEx, and then you just send Lego out, and the Lego gets cleaned and sorted, and then it goes to kids in need. And that is a great way to recycle your Lego and do a good service. And then also you can get a printout if you want to consider it a charitable donation, which is nice. You always wanted to do it, but you don't have the space. Yeah, I don't have the space to display. In New York, I had this shelving unit that I moved all the books that used to be there and then rededicated the shelving unit to be a model kit and Lego set display. And then when I moved here to South Carolina, which is still technically temporary, even though I'm still here, I put some stuff in storage and gave away some model kits and Lego. I donated a bunch of Lego. So now what I just have is the sets I build. If it really is something cool like the child back there, I'll save that. But things that are like these cars that I think are neat, the 3-in-1s that I build, those just go and eventually they get disassembled. They go in the box. I have here in New York, here I have about 3 brick separators because I only took one of them down with me. At one point, I probably had like 8 or 9 brick separators because that's when I was buying like 400, 500 piece kits. I would end up with a lot of brick separators on the big ones. The smaller kits don't come with them, so I have I think 2 or 3 right now, just in regular rotation. Growing up, we would have loved a brick separator. My parents rightfully said we could use a butter knife. John, I also used a butter knife. That's funny. I used butter knife or my teeth for many, many years. And then I would use a spudger when I first got a kit with a spudger in it. And now, of course, I have the brick separator. And then sometime this month, I'm getting the official Bandai part separator, which is the plastic part separator, which I've heard very good things about. It's a little tool with a bunch of different things coming in different directions. It's basically like an Omni tool made by Bandai, and I'm excited to try that out because maybe I can then retire all my spudgers and various sizes and dimension. I'd still keep them for emergencies, but that would be pretty great if I could retire that to a smaller thing. Your light is making the blue pieces at the bottom of the frame look white. Oh, yeah, this light here is making these pieces... Yeah, that's how bright that light is, that they just look... it's just reflecting back. But if you look over here, this is the actual color. So pay no attention to the bright light there that is making those blues pop. But yeah, you can even see that here. Yeah, that's just how the light is over in there. I think I would try to use other pieces to break up pieces that seem to be stuck, creating a weird tower to make it easier. Oh, that's what I do. Yeah, like if you have like, this is very difficult just to use the brick separator to get apart, these two here. But if you take this, you can... This is a pro tip from me to you. So normally, if I just do it like this and pull, you can then get them separated there. And then get this separated on here. But you can also do that with the same... And then you can kind of do it from the side here. Yeah, the side some ways. But this is the best way to do that, is just get another piece when you're disassembling. That is a Pat Bear pro tip. But yeah, I would definitely like, these two are stuck together. I'll put them on another piece and then try to pry them apart. That was always a method that worked out okay. Right now, we're just going to celebrate color by color. Between now and the next stream, I will probably go and sort these a little bit more and kind of put like pieces together. Right now, I'm just going by color and kind of just putting them in piles. This way, it's just like, I need a green piece. I'll look over where the green is. It just makes things a lot easier for me, anyway. When you are working on big kits, you want to do it one bag at a time, or two bags at the most at a time, because that way you're not borrowing parts from the future. If you can't find a part, Lego didn't fuck up. You just did it wrong, or you dropped a piece, or you used the wrong color. Like the navy blue, you put a navy blue on there. You actually meant to put a black on there. But because this kit is, how many parts is this? This is only 280 pieces, and some of those pieces are going to be the extras. I'm just doing 2 bags at once. But if you've got like a 9-bag kit, just do one bag at a time. I know it's annoying because then you have to constantly be opening new bags, but like in the long run, you're saving yourself a lot of effort. It just does make things it just makes life a lot easier. Let's see. It's been a while since we did Lego. Do I have any other Lego tips? Again, yeah. If you don't have a piece, you can't find it. Either look in the plastic bags because maybe you dropped it or you didn't take it out, or look to see if you did things that are the right color. It's always fine to undo. Even if you have like these, I usually use a. I don't use an X-Acto knife for their decals. I usually just use a spudger. You can use your brick separator to lay them on there. I just think the spudger is a better tool, so I will take out a spudger from my toolkit here. This is just a toolkit for phones, smartphones and stuff that I have taken out a few things and replaced the tweezers, and then I put a small screwdriver in here for old model kits that involve screws, because you never know. I build a lot of old kits. And then also I have my sandpaper, my coarse sandpaper, which I don't use a lot on stream. I use that sandpaper a lot after the streams are over, but I don't do a lot of sanding on stream. Some people really meticulously go for it. Also, some people use multiple snippers. They'll use this. They'll use one to get the piece off of the sprue, and they'll use this for cleanup. But I don't do that. I just grab whatever. Because I don't want to be focusing on individual parts for too long when I build model kits. I'd rather get to the model kit and start putting that together and make progress. That's more fun for me. I think I would try to use other... Oh, no, that's right. That was an old message. No problem. We're almost done with this, and then we'll build our minifig here, and then we'll take a pause for the cause. Or maybe we'll just take a pause for the cause in a minute or two. If you're unfamiliar with the pause for the cause, this is my ad break. We don't run ads. I'm the ad, or I say the ads. It's old-timey. This is like early television where the characters will stop what they're doing and start talking about, in most cases, cigarettes. But in this case, it'll be ways you can support the channel. And I'll just like give you my spiel about ways to support what I do here. And then we'll get back into Lego, in this case, Lego building. Because that's fun to do, you know. And we'll also talk about some anime. But not all 3 anime that I was originally supposed to, because I did not watch this weekend's Spy Family. I'll talk about this weekend's Spy Family on Monday, because I was busy and ran out of time to watch it today. Could have watched it, could have managed my time better yesterday and today. Yeah, I could have. I didn't. I had a lot of stuff going on. Working on other projects that are not related to streaming, that are just so I can live and build somewhat of a savings account. So I was focusing on those things and could not watch 3 episodes of 3 different anime today and take notes. So Spy Family, I will review on Monday. Monday will also be Manga Monday. Talk about some manga on Monday. All right, we'll get back to this. We'll finish knolling this in a moment or two. Right now, we're going to go here. So again, this will be like 5 minutes of me talking about ways you can support the channel. All of the things I'm going to say here are optional. You're under no obligation to do any of these things. If you would like to support what I do here, I'm just giving you the opportunity. You being here is certainly the most important thing, and thank you very much. Again, if you're not already following, give me a follow so you know when I go live, you got the notifications on, ring the bell and all that. If you are currently a subscriber, you can throw the Lego, the Bear Cave, the Scythe emote. If you're tier 2, you get me as blue. You can throw the blue emote in there. Subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do, because it's just $5 a month, and you just put your credit card information in through Twitch. It might already be there, and sign up. Or use your Prime gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime, link it with your Twitch. Or if someone in your family has Amazon Prime and they're not using it for this, you should use that. Use their login. But either way, yeah, the numbers go up. We're currently at 40 subscribers. Our goal is 45. Our goal is 50, but 45 is 40 out of 45 sounds better than 40 out of 50. But yeah, becoming a subscriber through either of those means is an easy way to support what I do. Dark Web Prosciutto is a fun name to say. Also, Dark Web Prosciutto is the top of our gift sub leaderboard. Another way, to support what I do here is to gift a sub to somebody in the community. That way they get cool emotes. They don't see ads during the stream. It's a nice thing. You could do that if you wanted to. That's just another way to support what I do here is vis-a-vis gifting a sub to somebody in the community. Also, bits and coins. I think Harold is the top of our bits leaderboard. So if you have any bits and coins burning a hole in your digital wallet, you could hand my way with that. There are alternatives to that, like Patreon. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. All the links and things I'm going to be mentioning here will all be found in the description of the YouTube archive. Or if you're watching this later on the VOD, you can check out the chat and take a look there. But yeah, patreon.com/PatBear, $1, $3, $5, and $10 tiers. Different rewards for each tier. Take a look at it if you haven't. Or if you used to and you dropped it, go back. $1. That'd be nice. Let's see. Also, I have a YouTube channel. Now, subscribing to my YouTube is, of course, free. But if you wanted to go the extra mile on my YouTube, you could become a member. And then you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. You get a message with that video and you get a day early. Least I can do. So take a look at that. And also direct donations, because those were monthly ways to support me. But maybe just like every once in a while, you're like, hey, I see your coffee. I see your PayPal. Here's like $15. Thank you so much for the entertainment. You could do that. And everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which also includes AdSense, so watching my videos also helps with that. Patreon and Twitch all goes towards me buying model kits and equipment. So like the Stream Deck that I use came from your generous support. This Lego set that we're going to be building here, that comes from your generous support. I have other stuff in my backlog that I will be building in the future that comes thanks to your help. Now, the way to circumvent that, because if you were like, Pat, don't build the stuff you've bought in the past. Build the thing I want you to build. How you do that? You buy it from my Amazon wish list. Comes in the mail here to me. You can include a note or keep it anonymous. I will shoot a video, a YouTube video called Mailbag about the thing that you purchased, and it jumps the queue. It becomes the next thing I build. I have inexpensive Lego sets on there. Looking at the Amazon list, some inexpensive model kits, like some Pokemon kits and stuff. Some more expensive stuff. Another car, if you were like really liking the car build that I'm going to start, and you're like, oh yeah, let me also buy this like Lotus for you to build. I'll do that. A hypercar. I've got some model kits there. Inexpensive kits, very expensive kits. Kits that are like, why is that $70? I don't know. You know, and then also some gear at the bottom, because that's also nice to have that. And again, you buy that, I shoot a video, it jumps the queue. An alternative to that would be my Throne wish list. Throne is a smaller company that really takes care of the people that put lists there. They're really focused on protecting folks that, you know, maybe they do cam work or they do photo and video work on websites, and they do it under a pseudonym, and they don't want you to know their real name or where they live. They're protecting themselves. Throne goes out of the way to make sure that those folks are protected, which rules. And they've got some cool stuff on there. They still have some cool stuff on their wish list, even if it is different. And then USA Gundam Store is just another alternative there. USA Gundam Store is just a website that sells model kits. They have a physical location as well. You can buy a gift card there and then send me a DM, and I'll get that DM with that gift card and then use that to buy stuff off their website and mail it to me. They're Florida based. It comes to me real quick here in South Carolina. That's all the ways to support me that cost money. You could join my Discord for free. If you just want to join my Discord, you're welcome to come in. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. Sometimes people post stuff that they think I might be interested in instead of just tweeting at me. That's also nice. It's a good little community of folks, so consider joining that. What else I got? Oh, I got the video links. Hey, I got a couple of video links for you to check out. The first video link is Pat Bear's Anime Club. I talked about all the isekai that's out this season. So all of the different world anime. There are a bunch. There are a few that are like, is this an isekai? Actually, oh yeah, it is. Okay. So I talked about that. I have a new video coming out on Monday. And I'll tell you right now, Monday's video is prepping us with background information and a little bit of a preview of what to expect in October when Bleach 1,000-Year War comes out. The final arc of Bleach is getting an anime adaptation after many, many years. It's been like 10 years since there's been an animated anime of Bleach, which feels like a very long time. But I talk about the history of it, the show, what it meant at the time that it was airing, what it means for it to come back now, and just kind of give it that. That's coming out on Monday, though, so that's not this video that I linked there. That's the next one. I'm just giving you a taste. And Do You Remembaer is my Wednesday video. Every Wednesday I put out a new episode of Do You Remembaer where I read a Wikipedia article, try to remember everything from that article, and then tell you about it. And this Do You Remembaer is about the Ghostbusters Ruling, which is also known as its actual name, Stambosky versus Ackley. It is the appeal of that civil suit, which is the basis of why some places tell you when you're looking to buy that property, hey, this is haunted. It is the idea that basically, it's not saying that places are or aren't haunted. It's saying that there's a history of it known to be haunted, and buyer beware. You should. Sometimes you need to know that a place has been deemed haunted by other people before you go and sign the dotted line on a contract. And that relates to this court case, this New York State court case, which is nonsense. And I try to break down the court case as best I can with the information provided for me and what I can remember and my own knowledge of the legal system. So I do my best with that. But that's one of my favorite Do You Remembers. I've only been doing it 6 months, but that's one of my favorite ones that I've done. Anyway, we're going to talk about some anime, because it is time to talk about some anime. But first, I'm going to drink some water, because it's also time for me to do that. And we'll dramatically transition back to the overhead right now. We're back. And now we're going to continue to Null, and I will talk to you about anime. Oh, here we go. I did this again. This is a blue piece. I put it with the black, and then noticed as I was doing it, that's not the right color. That's why it's good to Null. Okay, so I got 2 anime to talk to you about. Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic, which is the 3rd season of Kaguya-sama Love is War. And then Aharen-san wa Hakarenai, which is, these are both romantic comedies. There are, like, Friday and Saturday, there are 3 romantic comedies that I watch, although I technically watch Shikimori's Not a Cutie. That's a Saturday show, but I watch that on Sundays because there are there's only one show on Sunday that I watch and one show on Monday. So I try to balance things out. So I always have stuff to talk about. And also so I'm not sitting there trying to watch 2 hours of anime and take notes, because it's not really 2 hours when you have to pause to write your thoughts down. Because I do it as I do it instead of at the end. And then I edit it lightly and take out stuff that actually wasn't important. In this episode, so we've been building. This entire show has been building Kaguya-sama Love is War. You've got the high school student council president, Shirogane. He is he's from a poor family. He's here on a scholarship. He's trying to make it in the world. Part of making it in the world is being part of the student council, because that's going to make it easier for him to go to college. And then you've got the vice president, who is Kaguya. Kaguya is from a very wealthy, well-to-do family, and they instantly like each other. They've liked each other for a while. But Kaguya has been raised that, like, you never show your hand. So even though she has interest in him, she can't say anything about it. And he pretty wisely puts together, the first person to say anything is the loser in war. And if he is the one that mentions his interest, then she has the better foot in the relationship. She already has so much going for him over him anyway that he can't admit his feelings, because then he's basically just being like a lapdog at that point. So both of them, over the course of now in the 3rd season, have done various traps and shenanigans to get the other to confess their feelings, because they have a general sense, like, I think that this other person likes me as well. Like, I think that's true, but, like, I don't know how to, like, convince them to be the person to go for it. But we're at the festival. The student festival is happening, and basically both of them are thinking, okay, if I don't confess, if they don't confess, I'm going to. She's doing it because she really likes him and she wants to just, like, make this happen. He's doing it because he would like to date her for a while before he goes to college in another country. She does not know that that is his plan. So he's like, I'd like to be in a relationship with her while we still can, because then I'm going to go away. Which is shitty, but, like, whatever. The thing I always say about this show is when people are like, oh, well, they're just, like, mean and kind of, like, manipulative. I'm like, yeah. I mean, they're high school students. So yes. Anyway, are there going to be confessions at this? Because there's also, like, at least one other character, the treasurer, Ishigami, is also, like, has the hots for somebody, and maybe he's also going to confess. But anyway, first we got to focus on a year previous, or their first year, several years previous, when they first met. And we get some more backstory on our dude. It's a good little thing of, like, he ended up at this elite school because, like, they're like, well, why did you come to this school? And basically it's just like, their aid was good because, you know, he's from a poor family and he's sacrificed a lot so his sister could have nicer things. And he had, you know, if he wanted to go to a good school, he needed to get financial aid. So the reason why he's at this school is that, but he's not having a good time. He doesn't fit in anywhere. Everyone's already got their cliques. It's just not working for him. And he's kind of, like, disgruntled about it. He's also being, like, kind of a shitty teen about it, where he's just like, yeah, everyone's got their social hierarchy, and if I had known it'd been like this, I wouldn't have come here, and what am I supposed to do? He gets recruited by the then student council president, And he's like, yeah, but you're a hard worker and you're an outsider, and it would be nice to have somebody from the outsider's perspective. And he's like, not sold on it. Then he witnesses Kaguya, this person that like he could never touch, he could never like approach because she's just got like, she's already like rich and successful and already like knows what she wants. He's like, I could never approach her. And he witnesses her like go out of her way to help someone. And we find out later that she does have ulterior motives for helping that person, but still, she still saves the day when no one else could. And he's like, okay. The fact that Mayuki became the president just so he could hit on Kaguya is pretty funny. Yeah, the idea that his reasoning for becoming student council president is later explained. Earlier, we assume that he's being honest when he's like, well, it looks good on applications, it's good work history, and all that, and he needs every help he can get. But also the thing that actually motivated him to become part of the student council and then eventually president was the idea that that would be a social standing in high school that would benefit him to be close to the girl that he instantly has a crush on and admiration for. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Anyway, in the present, Kaguya is there. She's working with her class on, every class has an assignment. She's working with her class and like they're doing a cosplay cafe. She's dressed in like very traditional outfit and is kind of like a greeter to draw attention into the class. Of course, a lot of guys are coming. It's very busy. It's actually busier than they expected because, she's just so elegant and she's attracting a lot of attention being out there that they eventually need her to come in. And Shirogane is supposed to come by. He's going to come by and she's like, oh, I'll probably have some time to like talk to him and like give him an opportunity to, ask me to like go around the festival, or I'll give him a hint that he should ask me. Then two dudes show up. Now one of these dudes may have been in the show in like season 1 and I can't remember, but as far as I can tell, these are two new dudes and they are older men at this cafe because they heard like rumors about it, and they are like shitty critic snob guys, and one guy has this like weird interaction with her and it's this whole to-do and like hard to describe but like funny, and she like wins them over and it's this whole thing, and then he like notices Shirogane and says like, oh, you're here, huh? And I'm like, is this... Because it's not the dude that, like, talked down to him in, like, the first 2 episodes of the show. That's a different guy that got his comeuppance. So I guess we're going to find out who that guy is in a future episode. I don't know. Anyway, Shirogane does have a little bit of Kaguya's tea. And he compliments her. He's just very, very complimentary about it and nice, which is fun. We like that. And then they didn't get to spend a lot of time together. And then, of course, Shirogane's dad, who is like a loser and who sucks. He doesn't suck like a lot, but he definitely sucks. He shows up because he's a creep. He's just a creep, and he's gonna come to be creepy. Because he's not going there. I'll say this. Him showing up, he shows up there not to support his son. That is an afterthought. It's more to like see teens. And it's not great. Oh yes, also Kaguya's maid dresses up just in her maid uniform. She just dresses up as herself because in school she pretends not to be a maid or assistant. She's pretending to be just a normal girl in high school. So this is her cosplay. It is her cosplaying as a student, cosplaying as a maid, and it's weirds Kaguya out, and that is fun. And because we know she's a maid, it's kind of fun for us. You're right, Lashbrook, that was fun. And then our third act is, okay, it is time for Ishigami to get his shit together, because he has been helping out with the festival, and one of the festival heads is a girl that he has had a crush on for quite some time. He developed a crush when he was joining the cheer squad, where he kind of had to join them. And now he's working on the committee, and he's like, okay, I am going to, ask her to go around this festival with me and, like, shoot my shot and see what's up. But he's really nervous about it. He gets noticed by Maki, who is the girl who he calls her tsundere, and the subtitle translation is Miss, like, I forget what it is, but it's something to the effect of, like, they translate that as, like, mixed up emotions, mixed up emotions, which I was like, I guess you have to assume that not everyone who's reading subtitles knows what tsundere is. So I guess you can't just call her Miss Tsundere, but it felt very weird. Like, it didn't feel like a thing that he would say. The translation felt off. Anyway, Maki is there. She's been trying to get a guy. She's been bummed because the guy she likes is dating her friend. They're the lovey-dovey couple that sucks and we hate them. They show up all the time. They also show up here. And everyone's just like, all of them have gotten decent advice from Ishigami, who is not necessarily known for giving advice, but has kind of been roped in to give advice. And now they're, like, encouraging him, and they're like, hey, she likes horror. You should ask her to go to your classes doing the haunted house thing, right? You should go. And he finally gets up the courage to ask her, and she immediately is just like, hell yeah, that sounds good. I don't know if she, we don't know if she knows that this is, like, him, like, approaching her for that, or if he's just like, hey, this is the thing you like. But she appreciates that he said it at least and agrees. And there's one thing about this that I do want to say is we see this earlier, that he just kind of swoops in to help out and is definitely trying to impress her. And there are definitely dudes around who are trying to do the same thing that are mad that he is there because he is he's the new guy and he is, like, jumping ahead where they have been trying to lay the groundwork for a long time. Like, when he starts approaching her, you can see, like, one or two of them. Like, they're just, like, nondescript dudes in glasses. But they're, like, creeping in. They've also noticed that she's about to go on break and have been waiting for her to go on break so they can ask her to do something or chicken out. And then when they leave together, these dudes are all just, like, cursing him out. And this anime I've never felt seen in this anime before until these dudes, because this was definitely like early high school Pat Bear behavior. Like, the idea that you have to win dates. Because Ishigami has, like, ultra romantic, the line ultra romantic, the phrase from this comes from him, like, his ideas of, like, leaving clues with different notes and, like, different, like, that spell out a thing and, like, various things. Just, like, leaving flowers every day, like, real creep behavior that he thinks is romantic, and they're like, no, don't do that. What? No. So it is funny to see that, like, now he's starting to, like, just be a person, and you see these other people that probably had grand ideas, and I am seeing myself in those characters, and I don't like that, but I'm also, I've been around the block long enough that I can laugh at that. All right, so we got a lot of this done already. I decided to go with hair, with him holding the helmet, because I just think that's more fun to go with the hair. Well, I do have to adjust my camera here, because right now I am getting camera shake when I shake the table, and my current setup shouldn't do that. So I have to tighten everything here on my camera setup so that it doesn't shake when this shakes. It's stable, so it's more stable. So sorry, everybody. I'll do that for Monday. I didn't notice that it was shaking a bit. I apologize. All right, on the other end of the romantic comedy series, we got the one that is capital C comedy, and isn't surrealist in any way, which is Aharen-san, or Hakarenai. If you haven't been watching the show, please do. It's one of my favorite shows of this season. It is the story of Aharen, who doesn't understand like levels. Like, she is a quiet person, but she also doesn't like understand like boundaries. And she's been burned before by people who were really weirded out by her and her like not understanding that. Um, and she's very close with her friend and seatmate Rido, who scares people. He's got resting bastard face. He's just got like a face that scares people, like he's gonna get into some shit. But he's just like an earnest, nice dude that is like, okay, high school, I'm gonna make friends. I got this. People are bummed out by my face and scared of me. There's no reason for them to be scared. This is gonna work. Everyone's gonna like me. I'm gonna make friends with my seatmate, and his seatmate happens to be Aharen, who like he can't understand what she's saying because she's so quiet and withdrawn because she's like kind of has like, well, when I used to get really close with people, they would get bothered by that. So now I won't be close. But he like really wants that to happen. So they're friends. Last episode, he called her by her full actual name instead of her last name. And she got really embarrassed and blushed because she is starting to recognize, oh, I got feelings for this dude. And everyone's going camping. I wrote their names down because there's two friends in this friend group because they're the main characters. And then there's also like Oshiro, who is the stalker girl, but she's harmless. She's just a big girl who's like, I'd rather watch people from a distance, but they're like drawing her in friendship. But then there's also what's the dude and the girl's name? I wrote them down because I never remember because they're just caricatures. They're not really real people. Okay, yes. Ishikawa and Sato. Sato is the girl. Ishikawa is the boy. They don't really have a lot going on other than they're friends. Everybody's friends. So the five of them are like, they're going to go overnight camping in the mountains. And they get their teacher to give them a ride. And I was like, is this so that they don't have to draw like parents? Weird, right? Anyway, there's two teachers. There's the one that is just enamored with romance and likes the Rido and Aharen's like relationship. And she just like, she gets nosebleeds and freaks out about it because she just has so much the esteem that the two have for one another. She's just a real weirdo. It's not her. This is the other teacher. And the other teacher's driving along and driving up the mountains. And what fucking happens? She starts shifting gears and drifting up the mountain roads. And guess what, friends? We got an Initial D reference. We got an Initial D reference in a romantic high school comedy show. It joins Lucky Star and Laid Back Camp with shows that have no reason to have an Initial D reference. Now, this one does not have a Eurobeat song. Lucky Star has an actual song by bands that have, like a band that has been in Initial D soundtracks. Laid Back Camp does a sound-alike of a Eurobeat style song. This one doesn't. This is just a normal soundtrack. But it does have the teacher out of nowhere drifting her car up the mountain road, and I thought that fucking kicked ass. If you haven't seen Google, look on my Twitter, or Google Lucky Star Initial D, because they go for the digital like CG models, and they're just two random dudes in like different animation style, like talking about what's happening. It is literally Lucky Star just becomes an episode of Initial D, and it is unbelievable and completely random. This is not that. This is just a small, short Initial D reference, but I'll take it because it's a fucking Initial D reference in an anime, and I'm here for it. Anyway, that's not what's important. What's important is, Aharen packed a super big bag, but she forgot the food. She was so excited about camping. She's always wanted to go camping with friends. She finally got to go. She forgot the most important thing, which was all the food. And everyone's like, oh no. But Rido, who often has jumps to conclusions, he actually comes up with a smart plan. He's like, look, will ask the groundskeeper, hey, is it okay if we forage for like vegetables and stuff? And groundskeeper's like, yes, go for it. So they find some stuff that they know they can have. They find some forest vegetables they know that they can cook up. They already have rice. And then turns out Oshiro can spear fish pretty well because a member of her family is a fisherman. And they have a little nice talk, Raido and Oshiro. Oshiro has some stuff going on in this episode. So they have a nice little moment. And then also, very cool, Aharen manages to catch a fish as well. So they have fish. Also, I thought was a nice little touch here in this episode. They went back to the groundskeeper and showed him all of the food that they had caught and prepared. And he's like, yep, you can eat all those. All those are safe to eat. And I was like, that's a fun little touch where they were like smart enough to be like, we should make sure that we can like eat these wild mushrooms. But it was nice. So they cook a big meal. Everything goes well. Oshiro goes to bed early, and then the four people are like, hey, let's go for a walk. Let's go on an adventure. And then Ishikawa and Sato are like, let's disappear and leave them alone because maybe something romantic will happen if we do that. So they like ditch them. And Raido and Aharen are like looking at the stars and talking and just kind of like being with each other. And it's like kind of romantic. And maybe Aharen is going to say something or like kiss him. Like there's definitely a chance that might happen. And maybe something is going to happen. And then one of my favorite recurring characters in the show, Aharen's giant dog, that every time the dog shows up, Raido doesn't recognize it and freaks out because a giant beast is there. And then eventually is like, oh yeah, that's right. It's your dog. The dog shows up with the food that for some reason shows up with whatever gets lost. So brings the food there. This is a recurring thing. Dog has brought a wallet one time. The dog brought lunch another time. This is the recurring thing. Anyway, the dog's there. It doesn't matter. Aharen can't sleep. Oshiro went to bed too early, and Aharen and Oshiro talk a little bit. And even though Oshiro definitely has like either like apprehension about them dating or legitimate feelings for Aharen, she still like encourages her. Because Raido's out there making cup noodle because he couldn't fall asleep, and Aharen joins him, and then like she says something and we don't hear what she says, and then he says something and we don't hear what he says, and then she kisses him, and then there's tears in his eye, and he's kind of surprised, and there's tears in her eyes, and then she like runs back into the tent and is blushing, and we don't know what happened, but it couldn't have been too bad because they're friends the next day. And there's a weird thing about her wearing too many clothes because she's cold, and then like being together, and then like the Oshiro saw it because of course she did. She saw them kiss, and so like they're seemingly acting like nothing happened, but maybe they're acknowledging that something's different. There's a whole thing. So anyway, this like slow burn, getting to know each other and then starting to date thing has picked up. And now we're like in it, and we're going to see what happens with that. But I am happy that they didn't make me wait until a season 2. Like they didn't like wait till the end of season 1 to be like, oh, by the way, I like you. Yeah, there was an after credits thing that was like them being together, and it's very clear they're like, oh yeah. This is a couple now. And it's good, and I enjoy it, and I like those characters, and I like the show. Aharen-san, well, Hakarenai. I would say if you like romantic comedies, this is a great one. It is more silly than Shikimori's Not a Cutie, which is also very good, and I'm looking forward to watching the new episode of that because I know the drama is coming, because we got some love triangle stuff happening or just a rival thing happening. So that's interesting. So that's coming. And that's it with the anime talk. Let's see. I want to hear from you. What are you watching? What are you playing? What are you up to? What do you got going on? One of the reasons why I couldn't watch a third anime thing today is because I was playing Dungeons and Dragons with friends. And it was fucking cool. It was cool as hell. Playing some Dungeons and Dragons with my regular Dungeons and Dragons crew. We have not played together for a while. I was very happy to hang out with them and play some Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, I'm trying to see here. Must be this one. Okay. But yeah, that was really fun. I've been playing Hearthstone. My wild decks are doing actually okay right now, so that's fun. But yeah, I want to hear from you. What are you playing? What are you watching? Are you up to anything? You getting anything? Did you see Morbius this weekend because it went back in theaters and then also didn't do well because somebody or multiple people believed that ironic memes were real, like enthusiasm memes, and were like, oh, they're talking about this. That must mean that they're big fans of it. No, dummies. They're not actually fans of it. They don't actually want to see it. It was all irony. It was funny to talk about it. I assume most people that were making memes about it have never seen it and have no plans to see it. They just were swept up in the Morb memes. And that's very funny that people spent money again trying to make Morbius happen. They're still trying to make Morbius happen. It's very funny to me. Let's see. Lastbrook says, watched a bunch of review Starlight today in preparation to seeing the movie tomorrow. Hell yeah. Ghostfowl says, caught up in the first two Obi-Wan. Still almost done with Elden Rings. You're still almost done. Great. Okay, one of these is supposed to be etched with the name Jesko. So I'm looking through all of these. This is why I guess doing one bag would have been easier because there wouldn't have been all in bag 1 and 2. But I'm looking for a particular one of these that apparently has writing on it. So I'm going to be looking for that. Mainly keeping up with Spy Family and the rom-coms. Hell yeah, hell yeah. From what I saw, the only showings of Morbius at the theater I go to were at 10:15 p.m., so it was just for the weirdos. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right? That's somebody, like, hedging their bets, being like, I think maybe people actually do like this weird movie, and maybe the memes will work, but no, the memes will not work. It is just another continuation of a silly story. Lashbrook played a bunch of Final Fantasy 14. I'll get to that in a second. Great. I'm going to transfer to Vinny's server tomorrow. Hell yeah, Lashbrook. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe emote in the chat because Jam just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Welcome, Jam. That's 53 months. Thank you so much, Jam, for your continued support. Yeah, let's throw all the emotes in the chat. It's so nice seeing all those Scythe emotes now that everyone has access to the Scythe. That's just fun for me. Okay, this one also doesn't say Jesko. One of these is supposed to say Jesko on it, and I gotta find the one that does. I found it! It's Jesko, not Jesko. Jesko is how it's spelled. Jesko is how it's pronounced. So there's one. I had to find that one. I found it. Going back to what I said there earlier, Harold has been playing Floppy Nights, Arcade Spirits New Challengers. I've also been playing that. I'm almost done, I think, with Arcade Spirits, well, at least my first playthrough. And Mario Striker's First Kick. Ooh, nice. Lord Crashington started watching The Floor is Lava Season 2, which is cheesy fun with a new end game that is like Nickelodeon Guts. Ooh, I'm glad they changed it up a little bit. You gotta change it up. You gotta be with the times. You can't be resting on your laurels when it comes to The Floor is Lava. And that's caught up. I have not watched The Floor is Lava Season 1, so I'm way behind that. I will get Netflix at some point. Again, I usually just go off and on and off again. I do want to see part 2 or season 2 of Comey Can't Communicate, because I think that is a fun show, but it has not been enough for me to get it. Ooh, okay. I put this on wrong. This goes here. Like, no, that doesn't connect. Let me go back here. This, I figured that out, folks. I was like, why is this seems wrong? Because I missed a step. There's some blue pieces that need to go here that aren't here. So we're gonna pull this back. We're gonna pull this back. I've got blue pieces. Okay, that's ooh. Wow, I missed some steps here, huh? What did I do? I just did some stuff wrong here. Where did I think these were going? Oh. Yeah, okay, I really screwed this up, so now we're going to fix it. I will get Netflix when they stop enabling transphobic comedians. Yes, that would be great. It would be awesome if they would stop enabling garbage people. But I am definitely on and off and on, not continuous with them. Okay, so I really did just like miss some steps and some parts here, so we're going back. I was like, which is nice because it shows you can definitely go back and fix what you fucked up. But yeah, I just like missed this step completely. I just completely missed this step because this was supposed to sit here, and I was like, "There's nothing to attach it to, though. How does it sit there?" Well, it sits there because there's other parts that go, and I just didn't do them. So now I'll go back. So yeah, I've been playing some Hearthstone. I did download because I will be playing it on Wednesday. Teardown. My plan with Teardown is I'm not going to worry about the one-player content, like the storyline content. I'm going to get familiar with the controls, and then I'm just going to mess around with all of the like mods, all of the like okay to use Steam support mods, because they seem wild as hell. So I'm just going to get a bunch of mods. I'm going to go in and see. I know Vinny did a showcase of some mods for Nextlander, so I'm going to go try to find that and like see what he used. I'm just going to look at the highly rated ones, read a bunch of reviews, and just show off like a bunch of weird stuff you can do with that game, because I think that's the way to play it, is just like the weird stuff instead of the like time trials. Because watching everything break down and blow up is the reason to play that, and I'd rather do that than like worry about. Okay, so now we're on this step. I'd rather do that than worry about like, yeah, oh, I've got to do this, this, and this before the timer runs out. I'd rather just like goof around. Should get the mods that Jeff uses to get the game to crash or drop frames like crazy. Yes, I will know about the ones that really fuck the game up, and I will probably wait till the end before I do that like really devastate the thing. I think my computer can handle some weirdness, but not too much weirdness. Lord Crashton is getting a new PlayStation 5 controller, a blue one, since that was on sale. Nice. Okay, so we fixed our mistakes here, and now we're still working on our Lego and figuring that out. We'll get a few more pieces done, and then we'll continue this on Monday. And I'll have this like better knolled, and it'll be easier for me to find pieces and all that than this. But now we'll get some more stuff. So yeah, very easy to fix your mistakes. I had to go back several things there because I just wasn't looking. I have to get better in the habit of looking at this, getting the parts together. Instead of just like, okay, let me just put these on here. What I'm going to do is, and what I try to do normally is, all right, look at the parts, assemble what the pieces are, all the parts for this step, and then apply all the parts from that step. So now I know, okay, I need all of these pieces here. Have to go on this. So now I can take all these, put them on there, and it'll all work out. And that way I hopefully won't miss anything by doing it this way. That's the hope. We hope that we do it right. So yeah, so Teardown is going to be next Wednesday, so I'll be checking that out. I am going to watch, I think I'm watching Hell in the Cell tomorrow. I'm going to see if my, I had the wrong piece there, okay. I'm going to see if my usual Discord watch stuff and talk while it's happening crew is going to watch it. I believe we are. If not, I might, I might watch it by myself, but I prefer to watch it with people. So I can probably talk about that on Monday a bit. Manga Monday is certainly happening tomorrow, or Monday. I will talk about some manga that I'm reading. And also, of course, anime talk on Monday. So look forward to all of those things on Monday. I am still trying to get people's schedules together because I still want to do like guests. I still want to have audio guests. They won't be video. You won't be able to see them on video, but have like audio guests like hang out. I still want to do that. I've wanted to do that in June. I want to do that for a while, but I really want to do it this month because it's my birthday month. Also, remember, save the date, June 22nd. We're going to celebrate my birthday on June 22nd by playing Jackbox. That's a Wednesday stream. We'll play Jackbox Party Pack and celebrate my birthday. So be sure to be there for that. Be there every Wednesday. But I know some people can't make the Wednesday streams, or they just show up to the ones they want to show up to, which is also okay. But I would just say, hey, please try to make that particular Wednesday a priority because it's my birthday stream. And then my actual birthday is the 23rd of June, which will be a Thursday, and we'll be streaming anyway. But I don't know. I thought it would be, to me, it made more sense to celebrate on a Wednesday where we can hang out and do whatever. We'll certainly also talk about it on Thursday. But I am going to try to get, no problem, Harold. I mean, it's the summer. I understand people are out of town. That's okay. People got lives, people got stuff. Sometimes it's just it's just a day you don't want to do stuff. And I understand. And I appreciate you in general. So that's cool. Let's see. Let's finish this one step and then we'll call it a stream. It's the summer. I knew. Well, Harold, you're here now. You're watching the whole stream on a Saturday, and you were here late on Thursday, longer than you normally are, because it's your summer break, which rules. Congratulations to everyone that's got some summertime. Enjoy it. My summer means for me, unfortunately right now, summer means weird bug bites that make me lose my dang mind. Because, these gnats are fucking wrecking me. It's why I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, so you don't see all of the bug bites that are itchy and gross. I'm using this particular spray right now, which is very fun. That basically relieves the itches for 2.5 to 3 hours, and that is the only relief I have. So I did it right before the stream started, and then I will do it again before I go to sleep so that I can fall asleep, and then I'll wake up probably about an hour and a half before I would want to. Itchy. Hooray. That's my life. Thursday was my last day with students. Friday was a duty day. I'm all done. Hell yeah, Harold. Enjoy that. All right, we'll do the next parts of this kit, kind of the front here. We're continuing to work on this car. We'll continue this on Monday. I'll just take a photo of it, of my progress. But thanks everybody so much for being here on the stream. I'm going to take a photo of this car. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream. It's with a raid. So let me do this part here. I'm going to take this photo of this car. Try to get the ring light out of my photo. Hell yeah. Thank you. Thank you everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. I always appreciate when folks spend some time with me. If you were here for 2 hours or if you're here for 10 minutes, thank you all very much for being here. It does mean a lot that people want to spend any time with what I do. It does mean the world to me. We are going to end with a raid. As I said, that is how we end every stream. Is we go on a raid. We try to find somebody who I know in this community out there doing cool stuff, who has a nice chat and they're a positive person, because those things are important to me. Sometimes we go and raid people just doing some wild, weird shit. Sometimes we raid people who are just fucking rad as hell. We're going to go raid Matt Wiggins. Matt Wiggins is playing Hitman 3. Matt has a great community. Matt's a good person. And also, we often raid Matt a lot on Saturdays because Matt is raiding when we're done, and we'll be raiding for a while. Because, that happens. So I can't always say we're going to raid somebody and they're going to be, streaming for a while, but I try to raid people that are going to be doing it for a bit. So we're going to go raid Matt. Feel free to come along on this raid. Wiggins is great, and his community is really kind, and they have a lot of crossover with the Loading Ready Run folks, because Matt is a Loading Ready Run alumni and Desert Bus supporter, presenter, I should say. So we're going to go on this raid. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you on the next Build with Bear. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye.